folks to gather. And as we get ready for that, I just want to talk a little bit about why this felt to me like the thing to do this morning. So I set this up, I don't know, early in the week, I guess, because I was just kind of noticing myself that I have been having really what I would describe as a grief experience, which is not what I anticipated. And that my mind was doing all those kinds of things that it does when I'm experiencing grief, like wanting to overplan, wanting to control things, a very type A personality, wanting to respond to any need that I was hearing about. And then in the midst of that, having all of those kinds of feelings that we expect to come with grief as well. So things that I was angry about, things that I was in denial about, you know the drill. And so as I was thinking about that, it struck me that what I was not experiencing very deeply was just my body, my physicality, and that felt like a good response would be to have some good meditation and some good breath work. So knowing that that's what I needed and that we're all in this together, I thought maybe it would be a good offering to make on this Sunday morning. And then midweek, after having made that decision, I attended an online workshop via Zoom with a therapist through the Center for Congregations who said what we need to do is this, and it was exactly what we've been planning. Knowing that when we are anxious and we're stressed and all of that business, that we can't respond from our wholeness in the moment. It's not just a thinking exercise. Very much our bodies are physiologically in stress right now. We're responding to something that we're not used to responding to, that we don't have experience with, most of us at least. And we're heightened all the time. And when we're heightened all the time, then our brain shifts from that kind of beautiful neocortex and like logical thinking into limbic brain function and that kind of reptile brain that's like, well, we just have to survive. So I thought it would be a good idea, and this therapist confirmed that it would be a good idea that we just kind of settle back into our body and get our minds under control so that we can be in the midst of all these things we can't control that are happening in the world with some semblance of mindfulness and presence. And so we're not going to do anything terribly complicated this morning. We're going to have a practice that is a bit of a microcosm of what we're facing in the world. And in the midst of that, right, your dog may bark, my dog may bark, there may be traffic, there may be all kinds of noise or distractions or just life happening, which is pretty perfect. It's pretty perfect for our on-the-cushion time, because certainly when we're off the cushion, all those things are happening. And so we can view those distractions in two ways. One, we can let them pull us away from the practice, and then the mind starts spinning that story about, oh, I would love to be meditating right now, but then all these reasons. Or we can choose to let what's happening outside of us push us back in, invite us into deeper presence with our body, and also realizing that our environment, right, our body, we think stops at this physical spot, but we're very much part of the environment. And so recognizing that a dog barking or a kid making noise or a child needing something from us, or traffic or someone honking or all those things are just part and parcel of the experience. So I hope we'll choose that second thing. To begin, we will just find our breath. You may hear meditation teachers say that phrase a lot, find your breath, and it's a curious instruction, to say the least. And so what finding the breath means is to come into conscious awareness of some portion of your natural breathing cycle. So we're not asking the breath to be different, we're just noticing. So it could be that you notice the sensation when your lungs are full. It could be that you rest for a moment at the bottom of the breath, experiencing that sensation of emptiness. It could be that you feel coolness on the tip of your nose during your inhale, or warmth during your exhale. Just choose one of those parts of that breath cycle and stay present with this. That's what it means to be present, to find the breath. Just stay present with that sensation. So that seems like such a easy and simple thing. Find that part of our breath, bring our attention to it, use it as a point of focus. And then the mind starts doing its little bit of a dance for us. So you're there right now, paying attention to that single aspect of your breath. And your mind has some commentary about that. Is this what he means? Am I meditating? What's happening right now? So we find the breath, and then the mind draws us away from that, meaning that it moves our attention into some story. And so then we return to the breath, come back to that sensation. So the work of this practice is to stay with the breath as well as we can. And we do that by practicing noticing when the mind has drawn us away. And there's this kind of beautiful gap that happens when we move from that thinking that's starting to happen back to the breath. We're in that little transition time. The more we practice this, the more quickly we notice the thinking, instead of letting that story begin and then spin and then we follow it, right? So we catch it earlier, and the greater the distance between catching and returning to the breath, and there's just something really beautiful in that kind of silence. And so whatever portion of your breath you're focusing on right now, just stay with that as much as you can. You might choose to close your eyes, or you might choose to soften your gaze and choose something within your field of vision. Noticing your breath, just keeping a portion of your attention on that single point of sensation within your breathing. Take a moment to check in with your body as well. Whether you're sitting or lying down, just scanning through your body with your mind. Noticing where there might be tension, where there might be discomfort. Maybe there's a place that feels freer than usual. And do your best to notice that while also avoiding the story about that. So I can notice that there's tension in my shoulders, and maybe even greet the tension in my shoulders without then following the story of why there's tension in my shoulders. The story isn't what we're after here. We're just checking in with our bodies. So we're doing that while also checking in with our breath. If we give our attention to these two tasks simultaneously, there's less space for storytelling in our mind. Your work right now, your only real work right now in this moment is breathing. Just breathing. And even if the dog's barking or the kids are running around or the traffic is driving by loudly, none of that keeps you from breathing. We can use our breath and our imagination together to see and feel and experience our breath moving through our entire body. This experience we're having of the world right now has us in a fight or flight response. And that causes our body to do all kinds of things physiologically that aren't sustainable. And so coming back to our bodies like this, coming back to our breath, letting ourselves know that right now, just right now, we are fine. Just right now, we have what we need. Just right now, our only work is breathing. All of those threats or perceived threats or all of those needs or perceived needs, they will be there when we come back from our breath, from our time of being intentionally with our breath. Having chosen to spend this time noticing our breathing, we will be more agile when it comes time to act. So stay with that single sensation of your breath. Feel your torso expand as you inhale. Feel it relax as you exhale. Feel that coolness at the tip of your nose on your inhale. Feel it warm on your exhale. In the midst of all this noticing, maybe your shoulders relax just a bit. Maybe on your next inhale, you invite your spine to lengthen just a bit, as if there were a string coming out of the top of your head, pulling you up, creating more space between your sit bones and your skull, stretching out your spine. Just maybe on your next exhale, you will let your body give in to gravity a bit, noticing where you're holding things up. Maybe, just maybe right now, all you're doing is breathing. simply noticing the stories that start to emerge in your mind. Touching those stories with your awareness and letting them fall away. You hear the sounds of life going on around you, and you choose not to create stories around those sounds. Even the good stories are a distraction. Right now, you're just breathing. Right now, you're just living in your body. Right now, offering maybe a touch of gratitude for this body. Maybe offering gratitude for all of those physiological stress responses that are doing their best to keep you safe. Grateful for a body that knows how to keep us safe. We can hold the truth in our mind that our body doesn't need to do quite so much work right now. Finding our way back to our breath in this moment informs our body that this is not such a stressful time. That right now we don't need that response. And offering gratitude for that response as well. Just breathing. As we stay with our breath, we can take a moment again to attend to our body, noticing any holding, letting our forehead soften and our jaw unclench, letting our face relax and return to our original face. Our unclenched jaw creates space for our breath, even within our mouth. Choose to let our tongue relax instead of being held up. We might choose to let the tip of our mouth touch the roof of our mouth just behind our teeth as we breathe. We unfurl our brow, letting our shoulders drop again. If we're sitting, letting our thighs sink into the chair. If we're lying down, letting our whole body give way to gravity. Without instruction, we might notice already that our breath has become deeper, our exhale more complete. We notice that our inhale fills not just our chest, but our belly. It could be that you notice the beautiful sound of your exhale. The wonderful promise of the sound of your inhale. Just breathing. All you need to do at this very moment is breathe. Feel the gratitude that arises from knowing that, and knowing that that means you're already doing everything that you need to do right now. Just breathe. Notice the thoughts that arise, the stories that begin to unfold, and then come back to your breath again. Consider all that you can do while also attending to your breath. Attending to your breath, you can hear the sound of the wind. Attending to your breath, you can be aware of what's happening in your body. Attending to your breath, you can walk your dog. Attending to your breath, you can hear church bells ringing in the distance. Attending to your breath, you can do so much. Attending to your breath, being aware that stories will arise in your mind. You know also that attending to your breath while engaging others, there are stories that are unfolding that are not reality. Attending to your breath now empowers your ability to notice those stories when engaging with others. Attending to your breath in those moments, you notice thoughts that arise such as, I'm not enough. What I have isn't enough to offer. Who I am isn't enough. Those stories have never been true, and they are not true now. So, attending to the breath, having practiced letting go of stories like that, we can do so when we're engaging others. So we breathe. All you need to do is breathe. find your way back to that sensation of your breath, the coolness of the tip of your nose on inhale, the warmth of the tip of your nose on exhale. Perhaps it's a sound that you notice in your breathing. Maybe you are assured by the fullness at the top of your inhale. Or maybe you find rest in the emptiness at the bottom of your exhale. Just breathing. Letting space emerge between your jaws as they relax, as your face relaxes, as your brow unfurls. Letting your exhale carry with it this tension that may have returned to your shoulders, or your neck, or your abdomen. Maybe you're squeezing your thighs right now. Maybe tension is pulling your hips in. With your exhale, you can return all of that tension to gravity. Attending to your breath in this way and attending to your body in this way also empowers you to attend to just this moment. Attending to the moment in this way somehow expands the moment. It expands our perception of the moment, and it inserts time in which we can respond instead of react. The simple act of breathing and attending to our breath empowers so much. It opens us to so much potential. We know that in this moment, and in this moment, and in this moment, in this moment, our only work is to breathe. Knowing that our only work is to breathe opens us to gratitude for knowing that we're already doing all we need to in this moment. So we breathe. As you continue to attend to your breath in this way, and your body, as you attend to this moment, recognizing thoughts as they arise, and choosing not to follow the story, but to come back to your breath. Offer yourself this blessing. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you experience joy as it arises. As you engage others, attending to your breath, not just on the cushion, but off the cushion. May you extend that blessing. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you be open to the experience of joy as it arises. When that feels impossible, simply coming back to the breath. Tending to the body. Opening ourselves to the potential of this moment. May we be safe.